On a cold winter evening, a small boy named Daniel sat alone on a wooden bench at a train station. The wind howled through the empty platform, and snowflakes slowly covered the ground. But Daniel did not move. He kept staring at the railway tracks, as if he was waiting for someone. You see, 20 years ago, his father had stood at that very spot and said something that Daniel would never forget. "Son, I'll be back soon. Wait for me." Then the train arrived. His father stepped inside and disappeared. Days passed, then weeks, then months, but his father never returned. Everyone in town eventually stopped believing. Neighbors whispered that his father had abandoned him. Teachers told Daniel to move on. Even his own relatives said, "He's never coming back." But Daniel refused to believe it. Every evening after school, he came to the same bench, waiting, watching every train that arrived. Every time the doors opened, his heart raced. Maybe this time, maybe today. But every train left without him. Years went by. Daniel grew taller. His voice grew deeper. The little boy who waited slowly became a young man. Still, he came to the station. Still, he waited. The station workers began to notice him. One old conductor asked him once, "Kid, why do you keep coming here every day?" Daniel smiled softly. "My dad promised he'd come back." The conductor sighed. Life moved forward for everyone else. Friends graduated, people moved to new cities, but Daniel stayed in the same town, working small jobs, living a quiet life. And every evening, he returned to that bench, waiting. By the time Daniel turned 30, the station had changed. New trains, new platforms, new people. But one thing remained the same: Daniel and the bench. The workers at the station had grown used to him. Some called him the man who waits. Some felt sorry for him. But Daniel never complained. He simply watched every arriving train. Until one evening, something strange happened. A very old train slowly rolled into the station. It looked different from the modern ones. Its metal body was rusted, and its windows looked almost frozen in time. The doors opened with a loud creak. Passengers slowly stepped out. An old woman, a tired traveler, a man carrying heavy bags. And then an old man stepped down. His hair was completely white, his back slightly bent. He looked around the station, confused. Daniel didn't pay much attention at first, but as the old man walked closer, something inside Daniel suddenly froze. The old man's eyes. They looked familiar, very familiar. The old man stared at Daniel. For a long moment, neither of them spoke. Then the man whispered with a trembling voice, "Daniel?" The name echoed through the silent platform. Daniel's heart nearly stopped. He stood up slowly. "Dad?" For 20 years, Daniel had imagined this moment, but now that it was happening, he couldn't move. The old man walked toward him with tears filling his eyes. "I tried to come back sooner," he said, "but the train I took that day had an accident far away from here." Daniel's breath caught. "I was badly injured," the old man continued. "I lost my memory for many years. Doctors tried everything, but he couldn't remember who he was, where he came from, or that he even had a son." Daniel felt tears rolling down his face. "For 20 years," the old man said softly, "I didn't know where home was." He paused. "But a few months ago, my memory finally returned, and the first thing I remembered was a little boy sitting on a bench, waiting for his father." The station grew completely silent. The old man reached out his shaking hand. "I came back as fast as I could." Daniel looked at him with eyes full of emotion. 20 years of waiting, 20 years of hope, 20 years of pain. And yet, his father had kept his promise. Slowly, Daniel stepped forward and hugged him for the first time in 20 years. The old station workers watched quietly. Some of them wiped tears from their eyes. The old conductor whispered, "I guess some promises really do last forever." Daniel looked at the bench where he had waited for half his life. Then he smiled. Because sometimes the world may test your patience. Life may try to break your hope. People may tell you to give up. But if your heart truly believes in something, sometimes, just sometimes, miracles arrive on the last train. The moral lesson of the story is, faith is not believing something will happen quickly. Faith is believing it will happen eventually.